Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And Paul, it's such a pleasant surprise to have you here with us this morning. Welcome back and good morning.
Thank you. It's Thursday after all. What did you
expect? It's Thursday, yes. What did I expect? Of course you'd be here.
Did you expect Josh?
I don't know, you know.
I mean, Josh did an awesome job holding over. So I have to say a huge shout out to Josh, to the whole team here at Open Your Eyes, producer, all the directors, the cameramen, everybody in the control room, downstairs, upstairs that really made it happen. I watched, I've been watching throughout the weeks and months, and it seemed as if everything flowed seamlessly, and it was good to be somewhat of an outsider looking in to...
So you got some notes for us?
Well, I do, but that's another conversation. And even the hosts and how you guys handled the days and the weeks that went by during the Christmas season. You and April keeping our viewers entertained. Christmas, New Year's, and so definitely I say a huge kudos to all you guys, and it's good to be back.
You know what's so crazy? You said all the months. You've been away for months,
man.
Yeah,
it's been now, if you add the week before I left, and then this week, it probably be like 3 months altogether.
We felt that 3 months. But I want to ask you, as much as, of course, you'd like to share with us, where were you? You were missing in action. Where were you? What have you been up to?
Lost somewhere out there in the stratosphere. So I firmly believe that it's important to advance and enhance your skills in whatever career path you venture into. And I had an opportunity to do so. I had an opportunity to go out and do a short 10-week course in South Florida, in West Palm Beach, actually. My first time in America, I must say that. Thanks to Uncle Sam for opening the doors and allowing me in.
How'd Uncle Sam treat you?
Uncle Sam did well. He cooked some Wendy's for me. He cooked some KFC, some Popeyes chicken.
We can't tell. You came back looking pretty much the same.
Thank you. Yeah, a little bit lighter, on the lighter side as well, but that's another
Really? All right.
And so I spent the last 10 weeks at this school called the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, recently rebranded to CBS Media Arts Center, one of the oldest, longest running media broadcasting schools in the U.S. And they've been able to train up-and-coming reporters, individuals that are interested in media and broadcasting, and have been able to place them in various media houses and broadcasting houses across the country, and that's the country of the United States of America, of course. And so it was definitely a privilege and honor. I learned a lot, and I've been excited to come back home and to continue to sharpen those skills. I definitely grew a greater appreciation for what it takes to put all of this together, from being on the morning show to producing an entire newscast, what all of that takes, and how it takes a team. It really takes a team to do all of this. And so, that was my experience. Of course, the good grades was a plus.
You really tore it up out there, Paul. I think you got like 99 or something like that.
Yeah, 99.42. Not that I'm counting or remembering.
Yeah,
anything,
don't worry. That 42, you worked for it,
right,
so you call it
but
out.
That's the thing. If you put your mind to something,
yeah.
then you really go out and do it. And I really wish that I knew as a teenager or as a young adult, still a young adult, but a younger adult, what I do now about commitment and dedicating your mind and dedicating yourself. I wish that when I was in university or college that I would have committed myself and gotten those types of grades. But time has passed, that has passed, I've learned, I've grown, and now I have that lesson and I apply that to apply myself to whatever I do to get the best results as possible.
You know, I think the difference is that you actively work in the field that you went to study. So
it's something I love.
It's something that you love.
Definitely.
We can see that you're passionate about it. And I think having that familiarization and knowing that this is something that you are going to bring back home to further contribute to your workplace, I think that maybe was what made the difference, would you say?
Yeah, that 100%. I see myself being in this for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't see myself leaving this industry anytime soon. And what this training has done is it has equipped me to spread my wings, basically, to seek new avenues for growth, so that I don't pigeonhole myself, or so that those around me are not pigeonholed into thinking this is all you can do and this is all you should do. There's a lot more to be done, a lot more to learn. These guys that we work with here, they know so much, and I've only scratched the surface. And so even most of our staff here, I'm open and ready to learn from now more than ever.
Amazing. Well, Paul, congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
We're happy to have you back. I know that you are eager and ready to share your knowledge. And I know more than anything, our viewers, they're happy to have you back in their homes, giving you ways that they can start their morning right.
100%, 100%. And it's all for our viewers and our listening audience at the end of the day. The better we get, the better products they receive. So, yeah.
Excellent. All right. Well, moving into a conversation that I think everyone is still having, Paul, both in the newscasts and on social media. It has to do with that recent rape allegation that was placed on an attorney here in Belize City. We were able to get an exclusive interview with an instructor of the alleged victims. Of course, that was provided by our colleague Isani Cayetano. So I want to know a bit, what was your thoughts as it relates to the feedback that the instructor gave?
It's always good in these investigations when you have sources outside of the individuals making the claims, these alleged claims, that is. It's always good to have sources outside, persons that may be, that can tie missing pieces in an investigation, or persons that may be able to shed some light that may, in dark areas that are being questioned. And I think that this is what this witness, or this individual who was interviewed yesterday, attempted to do. She is, according to the report, based on Isani's interview, a trainer. And these two alleged rape victims were trainees in whatever institution or school or classes.
It was a cosmetology training they were getting.
I gathered that that cosmetology is only one aspect of what she does.
Oh, okay.
Nonetheless, she brought forth some further claims, just to say that after this alleged incident took place, these young ladies came to her allegedly, and they recounted for her bits and pieces of what they could remember. So she again confirming what we've heard from the reports, which is that the memories of this alleged incident are vague
Yeah.
and in bits and pieces.
It's few to none, really.
Right, because she confirmed that one of the young lady came in still intoxicated, in a bit of daze. Her exact words was, "It's as if she had just come out of bed and
yes.
still trying to gain some consciousness." I believe that same young lady was still throwing up.
Yeah, she was going outside.
Right. And she, according to the instructor, she had an exam or at least a practical or something to take that morning. And one of them, the one who couldn't remember anything, she had to leave, according to the instructor, she had to leave with the model that she brought to conduct this practical on, because you need a model to show that you've learned what they've taught you. So she had to leave. However, the second one, who she says vaguely remembered certain information of this alleged incident, she stayed behind and she conducted her finals or her practical. And according to the instructor, she had to take a lot of breaks. She had to go outside very often because she was overwhelmed by what had happened, allegedly happened to her the night before. Now, no charges has been levied against anyone as yet. That should be made clear. The files, as we understand, are still with the DPP. But I have to give kudos to Isani for stepping out, doing his investigation, finding this individual on another side, and seeing if we could somewhat, as reporters,
piece together.
Right, make sense of all that is out there and all that has been said about this situation. These young ladies obviously remember some things of this alleged incident. One of the young ladies alleging that it happened during the night of this alleged incident.
Yeah.
Remembering that they were some reportedly at this establishment, this nighttime establishment, this nightclub, and that there was an argument that ensued between one of the
young ladies and her boyfriend.
And that ultimately led them to, at some point in the night, leave the establishment, or at least the area with the alleged victim. That, according to the instructor's report or her testimony to us, that it led to excessive drinking or some sort of binge drinking the night, and that they woke up the next day allegedly in the nude, at least one on the bed. And it's my understanding from all that has been gathered that young lady on the bed that woke up in the nude, allegedly, that she could not remember much, if anything, of what transpired. So it's hard to, and we can't cast what do you say, blame, or we can't lay blame anywhere to say, or to even judge to say who's lying, who's telling the truth, where does the truth lie. We just have to look at the facts, all that is out at this point in time, and wait to see how the Director of Public Prosecution will instruct police officers to take action.
You know, what I see online is a lot of people saying, why has the accuser not been identified or named? And it's important for us to mention that we cannot share the identity of that person because no charge has been placed on the individual as yet. So it's not that we are withholding the identity of that person for any particular reason. It's only because the person has not been charged. And you can't name someone if they are not guilty, you know? So That's the situation so far. As you mentioned, Paul, we are waiting the final word from the DPP's office. Until then, we just wait.
To follow.
Yeah, and we continue to follow. But yes, that does it for our What's Buzzing. Now moving on into our eye-opener, Paul. And Paul, do you want to, it's been 3 months. It's been 3 months.
Of course, and I have my American accent
yes,
a bit still popping.
Let's hear it.
Let's do it. This eye-opener, of course, is taken from dailyarm.com, and it goes like this. Expanding your perspective opens you to insights and inspirations. Whenever we examine our lives, we examine them from a particular side or angle. Most of us tend to favor one side over the other. For example, we may tend to look at things from an emotional perspective rather than a financial perspective, or we may prefer to think in terms of details rather than the big picture, or vice versa. To a certain degree, this is not a problem, and these tendencies add color to our individual personalities. However, they can also make us one-sided, blind to the many other ways of looking at our situation. Even if we have decided that we are most happy when we focus on one particular side of things, it is always worth exploring the other sides. When we do, we become well-rounded, more understanding of others' viewpoints, and even more solid in our own. Most of us instinctively come at things from a particular angle, and in many cases, this is the right way for us. Still, understanding the other angles only strengthens us. When we look at our lives from all sides, we shed light on the big picture, giving ourselves access to many points of view and highlighting more clearly the one we have chosen to take.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Expanding your perspective opens you to insights and inspirations. Have you ever been at a point where you had one view, just tunnel vision, and someone from the outside viewing in gave you a different perspective and allowed you to see things differently?
I can't remember off the top of my head a specific instance, but I do know that there are times, and there have been times where I've come to the realization that, oh, I'm a part of the problem too.
Yeah.
You know, those moments when I would perhaps sit down and think to myself, oh, that's the issue. And then I get a second voice or a third opinion coming in, someone I trust, someone I know cares for me, come in and say, hey, but you did this as well. This is the steps you took that perhaps is not contributing positively to the situation. And then I have to take a step back and put things into perspective, expand my view on it, and see where I can take actions to on my part to make things better. So that's basically for me my experience.
You know, I'm thinking though, just as the eye-opener mentioned, a lot of times it's our instinct that allows us to see things one particular way.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a form of habit or many other reasons really, but there's nothing wrong with that too.
Yeah.
But I think what it comes down to is allowing other people to share their views as well. That does not mean that you're going to change your view just if anyone comes in and says, you know, well, look at it this way. But I think still allowing yourself to listen to other people's perspective, I think is important as well.
I agree.
It could allow you to maybe take on a project easier, quicker, or it can, like you mentioned, allow you to see that maybe I am a bit of the problem and I can work on things to allow a situation to run more smoothly.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it is instinct. It happens to all of us, so don't beat down on yourself. But I think it's a really good eye-opener to keep us in check and to allow us to maybe not have so much of that tunnel vision that we sometimes do.
I was listening to a conversation, just briefly listening to a conversation with a young man that was trying to help his father develop better spending habits because his father was spending a lot of the home's income on things that the son and the wife were unaware of. So the money was there. He was just basically burning through the money, and he kept the perspective of his mother that he's a bad spender. He is just
doesn't care about the family.
Doesn't care about the family, and so he approached the help from that perspective, and then he sat down with his father, and his father gave a different perspective. His father's perspective, is that I have a wife that hasn't let up for the past 20 years. She just keeps nagging. She doesn't want me to spend. She doesn't want me to do things that I would want to do.
Yeah.
And so while it may still be that he's spending without discipline, his perspective was, my wife doesn't love me, or she doesn't care enough to sit down and ask or to understand. She just keeps nagging and nagging. And so with this perspective now, he couldn't take any sides. He had to step back, get a big picture, because the truth is there's always another side to a story, or more than one side to a story.
Yeah, that's a great point to end on. I'm there thinking about this movie called Acrimony, and trying to find out who was in the wrong and who was in the right. Sometimes there's no real person in the wrong.
And there's no real person in the right.
In the right too. Yes. But all right, moving now into our weather update from the National Meteorological Service. It was foggy out this morning, Paul, so I don't know what that means. It might be hot, it might be chilly. But we're just hoping that it's generally good weather, so we'll be giving you that update now.
Good morning, Belize. A relatively moist airflow prevails. The 24-hour forecast for Belize and her coastal waters calls for sunny skies today with cloudy intervals, and today's high temperatures are expected to reach 84 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast to 86 inland and 74 over the mountains. Tonight's skies will be partly cloudy with low temperatures of 78 along the coast, 69 inland and 65 in the higher elevations. A few showers will develop mainly along coastal areas this morning. Thereafter, showers will become isolated. The winds will blow from the east at 10 to 15 knots and the sea state will be choppy. A low tide will occur at 9:22 a.m. followed by a high at 3:37 in the afternoon. Another low occurs at 11:10 tonight and a high at 5:20 a.m. The sun will rise at 6:26 a.m. and set at 5:39 p.m. The moon comes up at 11:54 this morning and set at 1 minute past 1 tomorrow morning. The outlook for Friday and Friday night is for partly cloudy skies with a few coastal morning showers. In the sargassum forecast, no significant amounts of sargassum expected for the next week or so, followed by a gradual increase thereafter. And that was your morning forecast that was prepared here at the National Meteorological Service.
All right, look out for those coastal showers tonight. Other than that, it looks like it'll be relatively moist. But jumping into our show lineup this morning, we have 3 great conversations for you on this Thursday morning. Starting things off, January is Glaucoma Awareness Month, and we'll be joined by an optometrist to talk to us about proper eye care and also the causes of glaucoma.
And then our second conversation, it's all about self-leadership and daring to lead. And many of us strive to be leaders, but some may hit a place where we face difficulties.
Yeah.
And that's normal. And this morning we'll be joined by Angelita Stain and Zane Hernandez to give us some tips and ideas on how to lead. That's interesting.
Yeah.
How to lead.
Yeah, I'm loving the track that we're going on, learning new things. And in our final segment, we'll be learning Korean. Paul, do you know anything? Do you know any Korean words?
I know curry. That's true. No,
All
I
right,
don't know any Korean.
Or maybe we'll ask them when we get to that point. But we got to take our first break for the morning, and when we come back, the conversation is all about Glaucoma Awareness Month. So stay with us.
there, smart thinkers! We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered-up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning-fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced full high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't let this blind. I can't let this blind.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
If we all don't come together and work together to change the bigger climate picture, these efforts will be in vain.
It's right there.
I believe that we have something special that is also a secret right now, which is unexplored, undiscovered.
I've been with the sugar fishermen all morning, catching lobster and conch, and then we realize it's time for lunch. And man, it's gonna be good. I think they deserve it.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus. and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Welcome back. We are having our first conversation for this morning, and it's all about celebrating Glaucoma Awareness Month. We have with us our friends from BCVI. Freddie Nicholson, he is a senior optometrist with BCVI, and also no stranger to Channel 5 is Carla Ayers Musa, and she is the executive director for BCVI. Good morning, guys, and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you here as well. So we are celebrating Glaucoma Awareness Month. I know that this is not something that we talk about often, but of course, in the month of January, we should be speaking about glaucoma awareness much more. Let's talk about why we should recognize glaucoma awareness during January.
Well, see, glaucoma, like you said, we don't talk much about it, but it is, we call it the silent thief of sight, right? Because we won't have there's no symptoms until it's a later stage. So it's very important for people to screen, to do their eye test, their full eye test. That's the only way we would catch it early, and then we could prevent it, right?
Let's talk a bit about what glaucoma is and how it develops into becoming, into causing an individual to lose their sight.
Okay, well, glaucoma is the built-up pressure in the eye, right? The eye has a liquid called the aqueous humor, which is always produced. And that liquid should always drain out. It has an angle there that is always draining out. And as it produces, it drains out. But sometimes that angle is too narrow or closed, and then that liquid is always produced and creates a pressure in the eye. And that pressure would damage the optic disc, the optic nerve. And once that optic nerve, that's what the messages that are sent to the brain. And if we damage that nerve, then that's when we start to lose sight.
Is this something that you can reverse? Or
once, that's why if we catch it early, then we could prevent it, right?
Oh, okay.
But once your nerves are damaged, there's no way we could.
Is the draining out something that's external or internal? Like, is it like teardrops or water coming from your eyes?
It's internal.
Okay.
It's internal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and it builds up.
Yeah.
So what causes it to build up, or what causes the blockage so that it doesn't drain as per normal?
Okay, so it depends, family history, hereditary, ethnicity, right?
Ethnicity?
Yeah. African descents, Hispanics, Asians are the most ones that are affected. And we are born like that, right? Our angle is not as open, where in the case if you have glaucoma, it's not as open as per normal, and that's why the drainage can't happen as normal.
And that's what's so scary about it, because by the time you come to the eye doctor, by the time you present to us, you're already noticing that you're not seeing properly. And what happens is that you start to lose your peripheral vision.
Yeah.
So it creates what's called a tunnel vision eventually. And by the time you start realizing that sort of missing vision and you come to us, it's already considered very late stage. We cannot reverse the vision that you've already lost, but with treatment, we can help to reduce the further loss of vision.
Do you guys have a lot of cases of people coming at the BCVI with this issue and not knowing that's the actual case?
Yes, we do. As a matter, it's an issue because sometimes, because you don't have any symptoms, the patient won't use the treatment. So it's always it's a big issue of teaching or telling the patient you need to use this or else you'll get blind. But because once you put it, you don't feel anything. You don't have any symptoms. So oh, this is not helping me, and they throw it away and then don't use it. And
so are we saying that it's 100% genetics?
No. Really, glaucoma, we can give you like an assertive or this cause glaucoma. There's studies being happening
Many
that we don't know
factors,
how
yeah.
what's the cause of it.
Does it affect primarily older people?
Normally, yes, older than 40.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Which isn't that old when you think about
Yeah.
it,
Of
course,
right? So
yeah.
we encourage everyone who either has a family history, is of Afro-Caribbean or Hispanic descent over the age of 35 to 40 to get checked regularly. My grandfather was blind due to glaucoma, so I have to check annually. And there are a series of tests that our doctors do at BCVI, Freddie, and our specialists that will determine if we have reason to believe that you're a glaucoma suspect or you need to start treatment for it. And it actually is the leading cause of irreversible blindness in Belize.
Oh, wow.
So cataract is quite prevalent. That is the leading cause of blindness, but you can have a cataract surgery and you can see better the next day. With glaucoma, that's not the case. So it is of very big concern for Belize.
Let's talk a bit about some of the early signs of glaucoma for those who may not be too keen to going in and getting their annual checkups or tests, knowing that they have some sort of history in the family. Perhaps something pops up. These early signs.
Really, like I said, it doesn't have any science, right? But like you said, history in the family.
Yeah.
If my parents have this or some of my sisters have this, so I have to check and do yearly checkups, right?
Yeah.
And that's the only way. There's several ways, like Carla said, to know if you're a suspect or you do have, but that's only at the clinic. Really, if you won't have any, the symptoms are there, but when it's already late.
Yeah.
So essentially what you're saying is you should still anyways check your eyes
Yeah.
every year if you can.
Yes.
And that's a given anyways.
Yeah.
That's something that we should be doing. Of
Yeah.
course, if you wear glasses, maybe a bit more, but it's recommended for everyone to do an eye test at least once a
An
year.
annual.
My question is, what about people that have diabetes? Because I know that diabetes is also an issue that affects the eyes, your vision. How does that pair with diabetes?
That's a good question. Diabetes, hypertension, it do increase your risk of getting glaucoma.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And diabetes is the second leading cause of irreversible blindness.
So the first is?
Well, if we're talking about
Cataract.
irreversible, it's glaucoma, and the second is diabetic retinopathy. If we're talking about blindness that can be reversed or corrected in some way, cataract and refractive error glasses are two of the biggest ones as well.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, we're looking at trying to identify people who might be at risk. So again, whether it's diabetic retinopathy or glaucoma, we encourage people to come in as soon as you've been diagnosed with diabetes. You need to start getting an annual check. That will help reduce the chances of you losing your sight. With glaucoma, like Freddie mentioned, it is called a sneak thief of sight because it creeps up on you, and by the time you notice something, it's too late to fix that. So that's why we're looking at what the potential factors are to encourage people to come in and have general annual eye exams.
So there is hope for individuals who've seen this happen to their relatives or to someone in their family line, because I know there may be some sort of hopelessness that comes with it to think, you know what, it's inevitable. I will lose my sight. If there is hope, what are some of the early treatments or early care that can be given to, I guess, prolong or allow patients to have their sight or their vision for as long as possible?
Yeah, there's two major treatments. One, the medical, which is by drops, and we BCVI offer the drops. I mean, we have the drops there. You could get it at any clinic, right? The second would be surgery, laser surgery. There's two types of laser surgeries. One is with we call it iridotomy, where they open up the angle with a laser, right? And there's another one which is trabeculectomy, which is they put a little valve just to pump out the fluid from out inside.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Those are the treatments for glaucoma.
You mentioned that glaucoma is silent. You're not able to detect the symptoms until it's more than likely too far. what's the time frame of where you begin with, showing signs till you're completely irreversibly blind?
There's two major types of glaucoma,
Okay.
the open angle glaucoma and the angle closure glaucoma, right? If you're diagnosed with the angle closure glaucoma, it's a matter of hours, right? But
Hours until
you get blind.
what?
Yeah,
Wow.
but that doesn't happen like overnight, right?
Okay.
But you might have an open angle glaucoma, and then that's accumulated until the angle gets really narrow. That's when you're diagnosed with angle closure glaucoma. Right. The open angle glaucoma, that depends on if you're in treatment. You could live a normal life,
Okay.
right? But if you're not treated, then I can give you a time. It's just
It really
different
depends
people,
on
yeah,
the individual.
yeah.
Oh wow.
And that's why also what's important is the rehabilitation program at BCVI. We have about probably 1,200 people who are registered on our blind list since the early 80s. And looking at the percentage, it is very obvious how prevalent glaucoma is. We do have a few hundred people who are irreversibly blind, but we offer services to help them live independently. So, we don't want to get to that point, and that's why the early identification and the prevention and treatment is so important.
That's a good point, because one would imagine that with such an impact, a normal life is it's hard to live the way you lived before when you have your full sight. And so you're saying that you guys help people to live as best a normal life as possible when they go blind.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And of course, you have many services that you provide for persons as well, both young and older. I know that we're here to talk about Glaucoma Awareness Month, but let's talk about some of the other services that BCVI offers.
So the thing with glaucoma, or with any of our medical services really, is that we have clinics throughout the country. So we try to make the service accessible as possible. People don't have to come all the way into Belize City to see an optometrist. We also have a clinical ophthalmologist. So she travels out to the districts, to our district clinics, and she operates here or functions here in Belize City as well. But when it comes to surgery, we and the public sector is still relying on visiting teams to come in and perform those operations.
Yes.
So that's a very important point. With glaucoma, if you are diagnosed here at BCVI or in Belize, you can purchase your drops from us. You don't have to wait for a specialist to come in to have that surgery done. We do have teams coming in that can offer that treatment, but you want to prevent it. You want to reduce the chances of you going blind and not having to reach a stage of surgery. We do offer cataract surgery as well, and this year we're lucky to have teams coming in every month pretty much to be able to offer that. We do notice we would like to see an increase in the uptake of services. So I'm not sure if patients are fully aware that once you go to BCVI, once you have seen us, once you have had that referral, we can call you to come in for your surgery, but we only have that week where the doctor is here for you to be able to come in and get that done. We generate our own glasses in country. So if you come to BCVI and you need a prescription, that's something that we can generate for you here, so you don't have to wait. It doesn't get sent out and sent back in. And then we have our rehabilitation program as well. We mentioned diabetic retinopathy. That started off as a screening program. So we have cameras throughout the country where if you are diagnosed with diabetes, you call BCVI, it's a first-time diagnosis, and we will take an image of the back of your eye. That image will let us know, in addition to a visual acuity test that we do, whether you need to have treatment done, laser treatment, or you need to be referred to a specialist who will come in and further evaluate for any other conditions you might have. So there are easier processes to be able to get through and have a diagnosis as quickly as possible and get set up for that treatment.
What are some of the common challenges that you hear families face when dealing or caring for a loved one that has glaucoma and perhaps have completely lost their vision?
There are two things. Freddie mentioned the use of the medication and compliance with that. That's very difficult because that's a whole team effort. That's a family effort.
Really?
I think so. You know, especially if we have older patients, you have family members who are going to help you instill your eye drops.
Yeah.
You want to make sure that our patients and our families understand the importance of sticking to that regimen, to the medication. As far as people who are living independently with a vision loss, in the beginning, it's very difficult because if you imagine your entire life changing and having to get used to a completely different way of living, the counseling component and the acceptance of the diagnosis is always the toughest part.
Yeah.
When it comes to provision of canes or talking watches or radios, things that will help our clients feel fulfilled and feel as independent as possible, even job placement, if you're working, and we can work along with your employers to see how we can adapt your working environment for you to be able to continue the job. So you can live a very fulfilling life. It's a tough situation to be in. So prevention is the way we go.
And if you know that you can prevent that, of course, take that opportunity. But I love that you use this opportunity to share that while the BCVI offers services to prevent blindness, you also create opportunities and services for persons that are already there. And that's so important that you mentioned that. I remember just last year, we were able to cover the summer camp that you had for young people. And this is something that BCVI has been doing for many years. You've been around for decades, yeah?
43 years,
Exactly.
yeah. Next month will be 43 years.
Yeah.
Wow, 43 years.
Yeah. How costly is the examinations and the treatment for glaucoma?
Well, we are a nonprofit organization. And our core, our ethos, our purpose is to reduce avoidable blindness. So we do have fees in place to help to keep us self-sustainable, but we work along with our patients. So if someone comes to us and they don't have the finances, we don't charge them for an exam. At the primary level, it's $10. At the specialist level, it's $20 to see the doctors. So
that's next to
it's
nothing.
it's not it's not inaccessible. It's quite accessible. But we work along with them.
We offer technology in it also because we have we call it OCT, and then we have a visual field, and that allows us to better diagnose glaucoma. Yeah.
Are there any events or activities planned outside of course, gracing us with your presence to share with our viewers more information on this? Where can people find you guys to drop in if they perhaps suspect that they do need to take one of these tests or get some sort of consultation?
Well, like I mentioned, we have clinics throughout the country. So we're down near the hospital in Punta Gorda, Toledo. We're on the hospital compound in Stan Creek, in Dangriga. We are also in the Red Cross building in Orange Walk, and our Orange Walk team provides services monthly to Corozal Methodist and to San Pedro Lions as well. We are in the hospital compound in Belmopan, and we do outreach to BFLA in San Ignacio and here in Belize City at the Lions building.
Excellent. And if you suspect that you may have glaucoma or you know someone that has glaucoma, obviously go and test your eyes. I think the driving point here for me is you should be testing your eyes anyway.
Yeah.
Correct. So if
When's
you
the
test
last
your
time
eye,
you got an eye test?
last year.
Called out.
Oh yes, I did one last year.
Yeah,
So
BCVI was here.
You're right.
Last year.
You should every year. It's
Every year.
advisable.
Yes.
From the age of
I'll admit that was the first time in my entire life
You
that I
lied.
got an eye test.
Oh my
see?
gosh,
Yes.
that's
So-
crazy.
So this brings it more to light now,
Yeah.
the fact that we should really be getting our
Yeah.
eye tests, because it's easy to think, oh, I'm fine. I could see, I'm seeing you, I'm seeing you, I'm seeing you. I'm going about my days fine, driving fine, so nothing is wrong. 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and all that time passes.
You know, and you raise a really interesting point, because I was going to say, well, I test my eyes every year because I wear glasses. I
Yeah.
can't see that well. So I'm thinking to myself, is that something that I should also be concerned about? That I also have vision issues? Is that possible for me to get glaucoma?
It depends what type of vision issues. Myopia, if it is nearsightedness, then yeah, it do causes. That's one of the factors that would.
At BCVI, when you come in though, Freddie is one of our optometrists. They will do a comprehensive eye exam. So you have a lot of places where you go and they're checking for glasses.
Yeah, it has to be comprehensive.
Correct. Right? So you want to make sure that wherever you're checking your eyes, you find out exactly what they're testing for.
Or ask.
Correct.
That's a great point, because when we go and get our eyes checked, we just check for glasses. Do I need glasses? So is it a chance that I may get a test and I still won't get the results that I need?
If there's only glasses and then any other of the other tests that we do, then yeah, you could.
There you go.
So you should come in and we can show everyone what a full exam looks like.
Let's do that. That's going to be our bright side. Well, guys, I want to say, this has been really, really great information. We still have some time, so I want to use this opportunity to quickly touch on the locations again. Is there a number that we can reach out to if anyone is listening and they believe that they need to either take a visit or bring a loved one by to get their eyes tested for glaucoma?
Well, we have an email, so I think a lot of people like to reach out over email. That's bcvibze@gmail.com, and our phone number is 223-2636. So you can call, you can email, you can find us, like I mentioned, all the way from Corozal down to Toledo. We do a lot of outreach. We have, as you mentioned, done outreach specifically to highlight certain types of awareness, but if there is a school or a business or somebody who would like our team to come in.
Oh, you guys do that?
We can, we can arrange that as well. We're getting back out into school screenings and community screenings. We have a very high demand. BCVI is the only non-private provider of eye care, so there is nothing in the government sector, and if you can't afford to go private, then patients typically find their way to us. I mentioned that's our core, that's what we do. We are a community-based organization, and so if anybody needs that type of service, it's hard for us to take time off of work and deal with our healthcare, and eye care is one of the least sort of valued things until you realize you have a problem
and you can't see. And that's also an excellent point, because I had to wear glasses as young as maybe 11 or 10 years old. As a young person, how soon do you start testing your eyes?
We could start from the age of 1. We could test your eyes.
Okay.
We test babies. We do babies.
We have a prevention program with the Carl Houston Memorial Hospital because there is a disease called retinopathy of prematurity, and if you remember some of the children at summer camp or Rowan Garrell, that's their diagnosis. And what we have to do is work along with the NICU team, the pediatricians, and the nurses to ensure that we are checking the babies who fall within the gestational age and the weight criteria to a predisposition to ROP, and also to monitor the oxygen levels within the incubators. So as early as birth, BCVI is doing eye exams. Typically for glasses, we would check around, I believe it's standard 3, 4, and 5.
Well, we could check earlier, but depends on the prescription. We won't give you glasses when it's needed.
And you mentioned your age when you started wearing glasses. Around that age, a lot of children do tend to come up needing prescriptions.
I got my first glasses at that age at BCVI.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
I remember the glasses and everything. It had purple transitions.
Oh wow,
it's like a purplish looking color.
Very trendy.
I mean, as kids, they're going to tease you, so might as well look cool.
Yes, we want to make sure that if you get your glasses, you are wearing them. So yes, we want you to feel good in them.
Well, guys, it's a pleasure to have you here as always. If you have any last words that you'd like to share with our viewers as it relates to Glaucoma Awareness Month, you can use that opportunity now.
Well, just advising the public, right? Test your eyes yearly. It doesn't matter if you are think is there anybody in the family with glaucoma or any other eye diseases, but you should always test your eyes yearly.
Absolutely. And remember that we do work along with our patients, so don't let cost be a barrier. Our purpose, our goal is to make sure that no one is living with an eye disease that can be treated, and those who are blind can be supported as well.
All right. Wonderful. Thanks, guys, so much for stopping by. We look forward to seeing you. I know I got my eye test that I'll probably need to get done this year.
Again.
And Paul,
Yep.
yeah,
Same.
because it's every year. Yeah. All righty. Well, thanks again for stopping by.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
guys.
us.
We're going to take another break, and when we come back, the conversation switches to Dare to Lead, a conversation about self-leadership. Stay with us.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
If we all don't come together and work together to change the bigger climate picture, these efforts will be in vain.
It's right there.
I believe that we have something special that is also a secret right now, which is unexplored, undiscovered.
I've been with the sugar fishermen all morning, catching lobster and conch, and then we realize it's time for lunch. And man, it's gonna be good. I think they deserve it.
Hello eCash user, the eCash app is now available in Spanish. Changing the language in your eCash app from English to Spanish is quick and easy. Let me walk you through the steps. First, open your eCash app. Enter your PIN. Tap the More icon at the bottom of your screen. Choose Security. Select Language. Tap on Spanish. Then re-enter your PIN. And that's it! Your eCash app is now in Spanish, and you can continue to enjoy your eCash digital wallet. Belize Bank's eCash app makes life easier.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
All right, and we are back with our second conversation for this morning, and it's all about self-leadership. Do you dare to lead? Well, we have in with us Angelita Stain Henderson, the Training and Facilitation Coordinator at the Belize Training and Employment Center, as well as Zane Hernandez, who is a training facilitator at the Belize Training and Employment Center, BTEC. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, guys, and welcome.
And welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Well, thanks for being here. I know it's no easy task waking up early in the morning, getting dressed to look as good as both of you look, prepare yourselves, and then come on set to speak to our wide audience. But that, I think, is the start of perhaps leading yourself.
Yes, a start
right?
of leadership.
Encouraging yourself to wake up. Maybe I'm completely off track here, so you can help me. But when we talk self-leadership, what are some of the challenges that instantly comes to mind when somebody thinks about leading themselves, or the misconceptions that comes to mind when it comes to self-leadership and daring to lead?
Let me start off with what the definition of self-leadership, and it's exactly what the name implies. It's leading yourself or directing yourself in the way that you want your life to go on. One of the misconceptions that people have is that it's very hard. It's not hard, but it takes discipline. And for you to have discipline, you have to make sure, even though you don't have the motivation to do something, everybody sets their goals at the beginning of the New Year's. You know how it goes.
That's why you asked us that.
That's exactly why I asked. I wanted to know how it's going, right? Everybody sets their goals, but many people don't follow through with it. Everybody says, oh, I want to lose 10 pounds, 30 pounds this year. And next year, they're at the same space.
The same goal.
The same goal over again. So it takes self-discipline for you to follow through with self-leadership and accomplishing your goals.
And your thoughts on motivation, because we often tell ourselves and tell others, you have to be motivated. You're telling me discipline over motivation. Should there be some level of motivation, and what should inspire motivation so that your motivation fuel doesn't run out before you could even establish a discipline?
Okay, so whenever you're trying to set a goal for yourself, you want to make it smart. You make it specific, you want to make it measurable, you want to make it attainable for yourself. So you make a plan for yourself on how you're going to accomplish this goal. And the fourth one is you want to make it relevant. You want to make it so that it's your why.
Yeah.
You want to know why you're doing it, and that's what keeps you motivated. So even if there's challenges that come about, you go back to that why, and you need to understand and connect with that why, and that will always make you resilient and bounce back from the different challenges.
I like that. That's to say that my motivation almost becomes real and personal to me. For example, if it's a weight loss goal, my motivation may not just be, I may not just set a motivation to look good.
Nice summer body.
Right, to have a nice summer body. So when I step out the Placencia
Like, we'll
for
see you.
Easter, no, but it should, I would imagine it should be something more like, I
Getting
want
your health
to
together.
ensure that I minimize certain health risks. I ensure that I live longer for my family and have a healthier lifestyle. That way, like you said, when you're going through it and facing challenges, you're thinking back, hey, I'm doing this not just for Easter, but I'm doing this for more than that. Azane, I want to bring you into the conversation a bit. Let's talk a bit about your perspective on self-leadership.
And how do you teach self-leadership?
So I think the idea with self-leadership, one of the most important parts is being realistic with those goals. So one of the hardest parts with self-leadership is that reflection, that self-awareness or self-reflection. Who am I? Who is Zane Hernandez? And what do I want to do? What can I do? And also what might hinder my ability to do something? So I think those are three questions that we must ask. And I think what I've seen in Belize and in our trainings and so on is that it's something that we don't really take the time to do. To sit down maybe 5 minutes, maybe once a week. Who am I? Have we asked ourselves that? Do you guys ask yourselves that often? Who am I? What am I able to do?
Can you answer that question?
Exactly. And when answering it, being realistic. So this is what I can do. These are my abilities. These are things that hinder my ability to do so. And then just beyond that, the next step after that is building that self-efficacy, which would mean that belief in your ability to do that. So now that I know that I want to achieve this goal and I have these abilities, building that confidence, knowing that I have these abilities, so because I can do this, because I have these abilities, I will be able to achieve that goal and I will be able to put it into work.
Can I ask a bit about the importance of being realistic when it comes to developing discipline? And I ask because I have fallen into the trap before where I want to develop discipline, let's say to go out and run on a daily basis, but I'm thinking I want to get this done fast. And so on my first run, I try a 5 miles run, right? Or let's say I want to eat healthier. I completely cut out everything. I just go cold turkey on these things, and then afterwards the cravings just build up, and before you know it, I'm binge eating a couple days later on unhealthy food. So let's talk a bit about how do we develop discipline and the important role of being realistic in developing discipline.
So I think that comes back to like how I said, the reflection part of it, because you have to get to know yourself and what you can do, what you are able to do. So maybe I've never dieted in that case, right? So maybe you want to gradually get into it. And I myself, even though I do some of these trainings, we have that same issue. I have that same issue this year. That was one of my resolutions. Hey, you know what? I'll get to start running a bit. I'll get into dieting a bit. But when I get at home at 7 o'clock, where do I start? Sometimes the same thing that you said. I want to start. The next day I'm super tired because I ran 5 miles the day before. I stop. Then I have to start the other week with the goal. So I think it's all about that reflection. And sometimes we also have to do trial and error. So maybe we don't know how to do workouts or we don't know how to do diets. So I tried it the other day. I tried 5 miles. It didn't work. So maybe then ask some people, ask ourselves what we're able to do, then start with 1 mile the other day. The other week, 2 miles and so on.
Well, let's talk about the training that you guys provide. You've been giving us a bit of a foundation of what the conversation, I imagine, will look like. So is this a training that is provided by BTEC to persons that are interested?
Definitely, we have our self-leadership training as well as our leadership and influence training, which goes over all these different topics. And just like what Zane said, for you to build that self-discipline for yourself, you need to start off small. Do little by little, and then while you gradually build your confidence, then you challenge yourself to do more.
What if you have issues with your confidence?
But that's the point. You have to do small little things. Set small, realistic goals for yourself, and that's how you build your confidence. When you're able to accomplish those small goals, you do it little by little, then you start to challenge yourself with more. That's what helps you to build your self-confidence.
For persons that would come and ask for this training, what would be the main reasons why they'd say, hey, I wanna be better at self-leadership? Would they come to you because maybe they have a vision for themselves in mind, or they have a goal that they want to achieve at their job site? Why would they come and ask for this service?
That's exactly why they would come, because they don't necessarily, they have a goal in mind, but they don't know how to carry out that goal. And a big part of being able to carry out your goal is that you need to show initiative. And a big part of self-leadership is that initiative, putting forward that effort and taking small steps, doing it little at a time and not all at once, just like what you guys mentioned, because that's a big way in which you can discourage yourselves. If you just say, oh, well, I'm just going to go cold turkey and just eat only vegetables. More than likely,
bad idea.
Exactly. More than likely, you're going to go right back to eating your lychee fried chicken the next day, right? You're going back to binge eating. So just doing things gradually, like Zane mentioned.
So why is self-leadership important in this day and age? Why is it important for us to grasp these concepts?
For you to be able to accomplish your goals. If you want to grow as a person, you need to have goals. And for you to be able to accomplish those goals, you have to go back to having that initiative, taking the initiative for yourself, because nobody is going to do it for you. You have to be able to do it for yourself. And like I like to tell the people that I train, my trainees, everybody wants to be a leader, but nobody knows how to self-lead themselves. And the first step to being a leader is that you need to show that initiative for yourself.
How, in terms of self-leadership, what are perhaps some of the challenges? I know we made mention of some, but some of the challenges that individuals may face while trying to get off the ground. And do you find that some people are better at it than others are at self-leadership?
You want to answer that, Zane? Or?
No, yes. In those cases, how I said, when it comes to the challenges, is your ability to reflect. So because at least what I've seen is that right now, it's all about putting in that time to self-lead. So taking that step back. And what I've seen in Belize, one of the issues that I've seen, especially in Belize, is that if you don't have that self-leadership, you're unable to fulfill your capabilities. I think that's one of the main ideas of self-leadership. Because I know I've known some of the smartest people, maybe that I went to school with, that I've encountered in the road and so on.
Have no discipline.
And that have no discipline. Exactly. Maybe they just don't put the time into self-reflecting, into putting that self-efficacy, and then they aren't able to achieve. And then you may have someone that maybe they didn't have that 4.0 GPA when they went to school. But they did put in the work. They did sit down and think.
That's an excellent point, Zane, because I too, I recognize that as well. A lot of people think that it takes the smarts, or it takes the talent or the skill. Really, all you need to do is to be willing and disciplined to push yourself. And you could fly past the person that could have been, you know, the next Einstein.
Right.
For me, it takes me back to that old story of the hare and the tortoise. It's really who's willing to make the work and persevere. That's so interesting.
It shows that the know-how alone doesn't get you where you want to be or need to be as an individual, but actually putting it into practice. When it comes to self-leadership, is there room for mentorship and guidance from others? Because when you're seeing self-leadership, you're thinking me leading myself. But one would want to imagine that there's a space also in self-leadership to be led by others and to be open to receiving advice and guidance.
Well, a big part or one of the characteristics of people who are successful is that they do have mentors. If you have the ability to have a mentor, kudos to you. That's the way that you want to go. A person who is self-led, one of the characteristics for them is that they're always willing to learn. Going to a mentor, going to somebody who has already walked the path that you want to walk, that's great. Getting advice from them so that your journey is shorter than the journey that they had to take. So it's all about always wanting to learn, not only from a mentor, but doing your own research as well, right? Going to different trainings, going to school if you want, whatever the case may be, building your knowledge so that you could accomplish whatever you want to accomplish. And you brought up a really good point that when you're on your journey of accomplishing your goals, you might not necessarily know how to get there, but you learn along the way.
I think it's also important to choose your mentors wisely, because a lot of times we think that you could take advice from anyone that you believe have your best interest at heart. But really for me, I kind of go about it as looking at the person's life. Is this a person life that I admire? Do I see maybe their career path as somewhere that I'd like to be as well? You know, and that's how I'd go about choosing my mentor. Is that something that you also share with persons that come and ask for assistance in this?
That's exactly what a leader, that's why we say the first point of being a leader is that you have to be first have self-leadership. A big part of leadership is influence. How are you able to influence people if they look at your life and you are a mess? Right? You have to have things under control, or you have to be having a trajectory that people want to follow, right? So a big part of it is being able to self-lead and to pick somebody who would be on the same journey. You look at their life and that's something that you want, they'd be able to give you the advice to reach your potential.
So you speak about influence. How do I know if I have influence? What's influence? Is this something that we all have, or we have to develop influence? Because I hear people, even in today's day and age, it's used very
everyone's
loosely.
an influencer.
Everyone's an influencer and a social media influencer. Does that make them a leader? Influence. Let's talk a bit about that. What that looks like in the ordinary individual.
I think when it comes to influence, it's your ability to motivate others. So just in that you're able to motivate or to change people, people's way of thinking or way of doing something, that in itself is influence. It's not to say that it's good or bad influence, but I think that's why it's important when we think about self-leadership. Because if I am able to have self-leadership, maybe then I can become a good leader, because I am able to master that within me, so I can maybe share that with somebody else. Because just the simple definition of leadership is your ability to influence others towards a common goal, right? So what is that common goal? If I want to be a mentor to someone, what is that common goal? And even just coming back to the question of choosing that mentor, is not only choosing a mentor and following every advice that they say loosely, we also have to go into it objectively and then assess what they are telling us. We do have to have at least a foundation of where we want to start, because not everyone, even if they are the most accomplished persons, will they have your best interest. Some people might see you, even if you do believe, hey, you know what, that person, let's say, maybe I want to be a researcher when I get big. And I identify this person as the perfect mentor. But then I ask advice. Maybe they will not give me the best advice because they might see me as a competition if I fulfill my capabilities. So it's always about following their advice, but also objectively, and trying to assess everything that they tell you, not go into anything blindly per se.
I'm a firm believer that you are influencing people around you, even if you don't know it, or even if you don't see it or have any sort of tangible results. There are people around you that
watching you.
People are always watching you, even though even if you don't realize they're watching you at home, people are watching you, your neighbors are watching you, the interfering one as well. Especially at work, you're being watched. And a lot of times, what you do or how you do it or what you say or how you say it impacts people around you negatively or positively. So that's a part of influence as well. So in terms of how you've seen your trainees transform and how their lives have gotten better as a result of self-leadership, are there outstanding cases or instances for you?
So for our trainings, we are the Belize Training and Employment Center. So a big thing that we try to do is to influence them to find a job, give them the skill sets necessary for them to find employment. And we try to handhold them through the process, but by all means, they have to be the person who actually goes out there and apply for these jobs. The recruitment officer will give them different job opportunities that they can apply to, but we can't write the application in for them. They have to self-lead, they have to show the initiative for them to do it. And majority of our people, like maybe 70% of the people that we do train, after they've done our training, they gain that ability for them to find that job by themselves. So we are big on self-leadership and showing initiative. You have to want it more than we want it for yourself.
So some of the takeaways I've heard so far this morning for self-leadership, the last one you said, take initiative. I've heard influence. I've heard motivation.
Discipline.
I've heard discipline. Let's talk a bit about attitude and how important attitude may be in self-leadership, and what sort of attitude must a self-leader walk around life and their daily engagements with?
So I think it's important to have that, first of all, that power of a positive attitude, right?
Yeah.
Because if you have that self-leadership, like how I said, another part was reflection. What am I able to do and what might hinder me to do so? So as much as I may want everything to go my way as I am aiming towards this goal, they are likely that there will be obstacles along the way. So I think that positive attitude is one of the most important parts. So I thank you for putting that in there, because when you encounter those obstacles, you might get discouraged and you might not want to go towards that goal that you were doing anymore. So you just sit back and, how you said, next year you will do that weight loss program again. I don't want to do it in 2024 again. I'll leave it for 2025 because I tried it, it didn't work. So that positive attitude to say, hey, you know what? When I worked out the other day, I didn't feel right. Well, it's not. Then come back the next day. Adjust that plan that you're wanting to do, and then go ahead. Or maybe even at work. A big part of self-leadership is your ability, because I know that I can do this work, that I can do this job that was given to me. I am in this position, right? But if I don't have that positive attitude, maybe everybody is talking bad about me. Let's say that would be a common example in Belize, right?
Of course.
So if someone is talking bad about you, you might get discouraged, and you might want to maybe even put in a resignation or get another job or what's not. But if you have that positive attitude, you're able to block that because you believe in your own abilities. I am here because I deserve to be here, because I can do the job that was given to me, so I can continue walking towards that path that I want to go to. So that positive attitude is especially important when it comes to self-leadership.
We have our viewers tuning in right now and of course commenting, and one of them mentioned it's also important to have patience. What are your thoughts on that?
Definitely. Some people think that just giving the example of weight loss, and even me, I have a little issue with the patience when it comes in that specific area, and in goal setting overall. People think that, I start to do it, that is overnight, that it's in the blink of an eye, but sometimes it might take, for some people for weight loss, it might take a month, it might take 2 months, 3 months.
A year.
Yes, sometimes it will take a year, 2 years for other people. And not only about weight loss, but like accomplishing your goals.
Finances.
Like, some people think that, okay, I have this goal in mind that in a month I'll be able to do this. I want to open my own business and things aren't working out for them. They lose patience and they give up. This is where you need to have that perseverance and that self-confidence in your idea.
Yeah, it's like a kid It's like a kid growing up and always asking, Mommy, when I want to get this big?
When I
Or
get
Mommy,
big."
when I want to get big? Or when I
Yes.
get this big? And the more they ask, inevitably, just by living, unless you have a medical condition, you'll grow.
Mhm.
And your height, you'll get higher and you'll get higher. So it will come.
Yes.
It will happen. It's just to, as you said, to be able to be patient.
Have patience and enjoy the journey. Page, they always have our registration sheets on there for the page. They always have our registration sheets on there for the different trainings that we do have. So just keep a watch on our Facebook page and you'll be informed.
All right. Well, from one training to the next, when we come back, we'll be learning Korean. Stay with us.
After a rough week of school, Jake and his friends decide to treat themselves to frozen coffee. And since they don't have cash on them, they decide to use eCash. With eCash's geolocation feature, Jake can easily find the nearest coffee spot. With eCash's built-in option to split bills, Jake can pay the bill and his friends can reimburse their portion of the bill. Jake scans the merchant's code and confirms payment. Jake then views his transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made, then taps the split the bill button where he selects the evenly option to evenly split the bill. The application splits the bill automatically. His friends receive and accept the request. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash makes Jake enjoy his digital lifestyle.
And today we're here shopping at B-Mart. Today we're making the green super smoothie. Let's get after it.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected. Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, pay $28.13 more and get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
If we all don't come together and work together to change the bigger climate picture, these efforts will be in vain.
It's right there.
I believe that we have something special that is also a secret right now, which is unexplored, undiscovered.
I've been with the sugar fishermen all morning, catching lobster and conch. And then we realize it's time for lunch. And man, it's gonna be good. I think they deserve it.
Annyeonghaseyo. We are back here having our final conversation this morning, and it's all about learning to speak Korean with the IYF. We are joined via Zoom by Teddy Kim, and he is a Korean Language Academy instructor. And we have with us here on set Orleen Garvey, and she is the programs manager with IYF. Guys, thank you so much for joining. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. Thank you for having us.
All right. Well, this is exciting. I know that a lot of our viewers, they're intrigued just by us saying that we'll be learning a bit of Korean. So let's begin with the IYF program, and then we can work our way into learning some words.
Sure. So IYF is, first of all, it's no stranger to
Mhm.
OIE. We're happy to be back.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're partners at this point.
We're happy to be back. And we just wanted to share with you guys, usually when we're here, we're talking Korean.
Yes.
But since that time, we've extended our academies programs, and we wanted to share with you this morning. So one of the, let's say, the highest demands that we see, especially coming from the Korean camp that we held last year in October, when our international volunteers came, was the Korean Language Academy. So hence my instructor here. He's going to teach us a little bit of the basics.
All right.
But in addition to the IYF Korean Language Academy, we have a variety of other academies that we think that persons would also be interested in.
Okay.
So we're also starting dance.
Ooh.
Yeah, so if you
We're
want to
talking
learn
K-pop?
we will get there. We'll get there, but the dance academies, of course, there's K-pop, but there's also a variation of, Western culture dances.
Nice.
And all our dances are choreographed.
Yeah.
So they're very easy to follow, and we see, students becoming more interested. Also, we have our song, and I don't know, but I'm actually surprised that so many Belizean youth like to sing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Sing
we
and
love
dance.
it.
They love it.
We were raised in churches and among choirs.
And around KTV.
And around KTV.
Well, IYF is happy for that.
Yes.
So we have the Song Academy. And also, I think you guys would be happy to hear, we're just starting our Korean Cooking Class Academy. Ooh, yes. So last year, last year, I remember when we had our Korean camp at St. John's College, there were a lot of students, and they were particularly interested in the food.
Yeah.
Okay. So I remember last year when we were there, they were saying to us, how can we learn? And we want more, So we're going to start our Cooking Academy on the 10th of February.
Okay.
So persons can sign up. But before we actually go into the actual cooking class, we wanted to connect with some more students. So the end of this month, January 27th, we'd actually be having a Korean food sale. So persons who are interested in, having a sample, like tasting Korean food, you can drop by the IYF Center, and we'll be doing a food sale.
Where's the IYF Center?
We're actually located in Kings Park.
Okay.
It's directly behind Twins Supermarket.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's
it's
not
pretty
hard to
easy.
find.
It's not hard to find.
Yeah.
It's not hard to find.
What's the reception like from young people stopping by at the center and wanting to learn more about this culture?
Oh, wow. Every year I am blown away by the reception that we get from Belize youth when it comes to IYF activities, and more so the Korean-driven activities. 2 years ago when we started here in, it's 3 years ago, in 2024, right? When we started, we had about 300 students. The first time, At the time, our intention was just to do, the Korean camp for one day. But when we saw the outpour, we had to do it the second day.
Yeah.
The second week, we
Yeah.
had to do it again.
What do you think was the interest? Why do you think?
I think K-pop. I think K-pop.
Oh, Sabrina, K-pop
I swear.
has taken over the world.
I feel like I was asleep when it happened though, because
Yeah, I feel
all of
like
a
I was
sudden
asleep as well.
we listen to these boy bands, and I just, these kids love it. There's posters everywhere.
I have nieces. I have a little sister, and they don't only sing the songs, but they mimic the wear as well. How they dress.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing Korean camp again in
Okay.
October. You guys should come by.
Yes, we will. We'll be there.
Yeah, we have students, I'm telling you guys, as young as like 12 years old. They know the entire choreography for like BTS, and you know, they're like completely driven.
I'm officially old because I know nothing.
Remind us of the why behind IYF in terms of how is it that we're establishing this merge, or why is it we're establishing this merge between Korean culture, Belizean culture, two different parts of the world, and ultimately what's the purpose?
Okay, so the founder of the IYF is Reverend Dr. Pastor Oksu Park. He's actually located in Korea, so he is South Korean. But actually over the years, you know, the IYF has spread just beyond, you know, far beyond the shores of Korea. For the Caribbean, actually, we're headed in Jamaica. So we now have branches in Trinidad and Tobago, where Teddy is from. We're here in Belize, Barbados, and Jamaica. But also the IYF has more than 100 branches across the US, also Canada and Mexico, Guatemala, also in Central and South America. You know, so the culture in the IYF isn't specific to Korean, but we realize that, you know, there's a huge interest of, you know, Western culture with Korean culture, especially among the youth. And through that, this is how we're able to connect with other youth, you know. So it's basically, you know, it's an avenue for connection. And you guys know the IYF is all about connection and exchange. And this is how we teach, you know, our, for example, our mindset education program. You know, so through events and activities like the Korean camp and our dance academies or Korean cooking class, things that keep, you know, the hearts of the young people busy and interested. Those are the things that the IYF, you know, look to see how we can, you know, employ, harness, and, you know, connect.
Well, I'm glad that you're willing to share that information with us. I think it's always important to remind our viewers of the work you guys are doing and the reason behind doing that work. Now, you moved to Belize to work with the IYF. What has that transition been like for you and your family?
So prior to coming to, so I've been with the IYF for more than 10 years, you know, so we are actually coming from Jamaica. So I'm a full-time volunteer with the IYF, you know. So when we came to Belize 3 years ago, I was delightfully surprised because actually I'm Grenadian born. Teddy, even though he's Jamaican, I don't know, do you want me to share your secrets, Teddy? Or would you share? Share them, right? Share, I'll share them. So he's actually, I don't know the best way, Korean, American, Jamaican, Trinidadian.
Wow.
He's actually Korean born.
Teddy could tell us.
He would tell you.
Tell us a bit about you, Teddy, who you are and your involvement with IYF.
Thank you for having me. I'm born Korean, grew up my entire life, most of my life in Jamaica, lived there 20 years.
Wow.
I also came to Trinidad a year and a half ago. So, and my wife is Korean American. So it's all kinds of culture mixed up in one. So
I can't imagine how the dialect
I look Korean on the outside.
You said you look Korean on the outside, but what?
Yeah, but inside I just want to eat some jerk chicken and some curry goat.
I love it. I love it. Well, You know, I think this is an excellent avenue for kids to come together and really share in a positive engagement with each other, of course, while learning about a new culture as well. I do know that, Teddy, you will be teaching us some Korean words and also to our viewers as well. You taught me how to say hello. I won't lie, I already forgot. But let's begin with maybe the first stages of how you go about teaching this language.
Okay, so this I'll give you a brief sample of how we do the Korean class, right?
Okay.
So everyone, welcome to our IOF Korean Academy. The first thing I always teach is the greeting. 안녕하세요. So 안녕 means safe, and 하세요 means be, right? So when you're saying hello, you're not just saying hello. You're telling people, be safe, right? Are you safe? Are you okay, right? So 안녕하세요, 여러분. So I greet the students, 안녕하세요, 여러분, and the students greet me, 안녕하세요, 선생님. 선생님 means teacher. So if I say 안녕하세요, 여러분, you have to respond, 안녕하세요, 선생님. Okay, can we try this?
Yes.
안녕하세요, 여러분.
안녕하세요, 선생님.
We get a B.
What's the word? It's sense. How do you pronounce it? It's 선생님.
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 선생님. Okay.
선생님.
Yes, 선생님. Good.
선생님.
Good.
All right.
Don't worry.
안녕하세요, 선생님.
Awesome. If you join our Korean class, don't worry. You'll be able to say it fluently and
Okay.
you'll be able to read it without the English pronunciations. One of the biggest reasons why Korean culture became famous, one of the first things that became popular in Western culture about Korean music is this guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody remember Gangnam Style, right?
Yes.
Style.
This guy, Gangnam Style. And then it continued to BTS. These guys are everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Wait, that group
you
is
guys
that
are-
big?
Yeah. It's a big group.
Oh yeah, it's this many
wow.
people, 7
Oh
people
my
in this
gosh.
group.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, and then now there's so many groups that have been becoming popular in America, in the Western culture, in Belize, in Trinidad and Tobago. Trust me, it's very popular these days. Also, one of the biggest reasons is the Korean drama.
Yes.
This is,
I've heard about this.
especially during the pandemic. Yes, especially during the pandemic, everybody was glued to their Netflix account, and
Yes.
A lot of Korean dramas were being watched. So these are some of the Korean dramas that people have been interested in, and some of you are mentioning, these are a lot of kids are coming to Korean class. In Trinidad and Tobago, I have 60-year-old ladies coming to Korean class. I
Wow. Yeah.
university professors coming to Korean class because
That's
they're
so
very interested
interesting.
in the because they've been watching these dramas and they've been enjoying the music as well.
Oh wow.
So I'll give you a brief introduction about the Korean
Go ahead.
language.
Okay.
Korean language is a little bit different from the other languages. It's a very unique language. Even in the UN, they have for Literacy Day, they call it the Sejong Literacy Day. The reason is because Korean language is one of the few languages we know the inventor of. So for example, in English or Spanish or these Latin languages, they were first spoken languages before people decided to make grammatical rules for them, right? So that is why the rules are very complicated, and also there are many exceptions to the rules that have the exceptions to the exceptions and exceptions to those exceptions, right? Because they were first spoken. But Korean language was an invented language. And this person here on the screen, he is the inventor. His name is Sejong. He's a king. He was a king in Korea. And he invented the language specifically because Korea used to also be using the Chinese characters.
Okay.
So if you look here, this is the Chinese characters. Okay. Everyone, first of all, we should know Korea is not China.
Thank
Many
you.
people misunderstand. So these are Chinese characters, and as you can see, there are many lines, and you cannot identify a system. So every character, even just one stroke different, has a completely different sound, and also they have a completely different meaning. So there is no system to the Chinese character system. So it means that everything must be completely memorized, which meant that only academics, only people in government, only people who are in elite positions could learn the Chinese characters. So the King Sejong, he decided to change that system. He wanted even the commoners, even the people who are not in high positions to also learn the language. So he developed the language called Hangul. As you can see here above, these are the Chinese, and Japanese also still use the same system, but below you see the Korean language. There's a kind of, you can tell the difference, right? There's a little difference. You can see. Yes, in Korean, you see a little more circles. Also, we have spaces in between the words.
Yes.
And also, we write in syllables, and there's a specific system. Okay. As I mentioned, Korean is a syllabic language. What do I mean by that? In English, if you look here, you write Happybirthday.
Yeah.
We just write the words one by one, right? Well, in Korean, we write in syllables. Is one syllable.
Oh.
So I know it's been a while since we were in primary school, elementary school. So let's revise what a syllable is. A syllable is the sound that you can make with one breath.
Yeah.
Right? So if you say happy birthday, how many syllables is this?
Happy birthday. 4.
Right. Four syllables. Good. So, but we don't write in syllables in English. We just write out the alphabet. In Korean, we write in syllables. So if you look here, this is happy birthday in Korean, which is, repeat after me,
Seng.
Il. Chuk. Ha. He. Yo. How many syllables is this?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yes, good.
All right.
We write in syllables. So we write, so we have consonants, we have vowels, and we organize it in one block to make it a syllable.
Okay.
Right? So let me look at the next slide, and you can tell me how many syllables is this one. How many syllables is this?
4.
Let's look here. Po, ki, ha, di, ma.
Oh, 5?
5?
5 syllables.
Oh, I was going by the Dutch.
5 syllables.
Yeah.
Okay. How about this one? Oh, everyone, heart is not included in the Korean language. Well, so how many syllables is this?
I don't see anything English on there.
I'll say 5.
No English. 5. Yes.
How did
It's
you get
organized
that?
in blocks.
I don't
of
know.
symbols.
My instinct told me that.
So you can see here, it's organized in blocks.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4. This is Oppa 사랑해, which means Oppa, I love you.
Oppa.
Yes. How about this one? Can you separate the blocks of syllables?
5?
Can you see it?
5.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay,
good.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. How about this one? How many syllables is this?
5?
I'll say 3.
Nice.
Oh, it's 5?
3? Oh, no. 5. Yes, 5 distinct blocks of syllables.
Right.
Yes.
I didn't see that.
Good.
Yeah.
How about this one?
1, 2, 3, 4, 6.
6. Good.
Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Wow.
This is this is why Korean language is a little bit different from English, because we have to organize things into a block.
So you're saying that when you're writing in Korean, or at least for us, that's with the untrained eyes, that when you're looking at the Korean language and writing, that the spaces that you see, they're actually syllables. That's what I'm learning right now. That after each space there's a syllable and another syllable and another syllable.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's not the entirety of the word per se after a space.
Right. Yes, that's right.
Okay.
So if you look even here, this is how the system is made. So on the left-hand side, the red C is C for consonant, and the vowel, the V is for vowel. So you can organize the consonant and the vowel in this way. So there's in here, this one block, this one syllable, there's a consonant and a vowel. In this block, there's a consonant and vowel, but this vowel goes underneath. We'll get to that a little bit later, why it goes underneath. And here there's consonant, vowel, consonant. Here, consonant, vowel, consonant. And consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant. So we organize the consonant and vowels into a single block, right, to make a syllable.
Okay.
We can organize it even in this way,
Okay.
right? Consonant, vowel, then you have ending consonants underneath in various ways. So the first class I always teach is about vowels.
Okay.
So today I'll just teach you the Korean vowels and then we'll finish, okay? All right. All right, so these are the vowels in Korean. So please repeat after me. A, ya, o, yo, o, yo, u, you, E. Good, good.
All right.
So we're going to group them in twos. And we can repeat after it. Let me do it one more time.
Okay.
Aya,
Aya,
oyo,
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 oyu,
uyu,
uyu,
e.
ui.
Yes. So these are the Korean vowels.
So it's 10, is it 10 vowels technically?
Yes, these are the simple vowels. And then
Okay.
later on, we learn to combine them and then make combinations so you can be more complex.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, this has been really fun. I wish we could have a full lesson, but unfortunately, we are running out of time. Teddy, for persons that are interested in stopping by at IYF and learning more about either the Korean language, or other programs that are available, how can they get in touch with you guys?
So you can connect with us via our website. You can learn more of our activities there. Also, if you're interested, you can go ahead and register. It's iyfbelize.org/academy. So it's iyfbelize.org. Or you can call us 601-4750. Or you can just drop by the center anytime.
Wonderful. Teddy, thank you so much for giving us some insights into the Korean language. I know for sure that the language or the writing is in consonants. I know that there's vowels. I know that how vowels and consonants can be placed together either on top of each other, beside each other. It's in syllables, as I was saying. And so there's a lot that I've learned in just that short span of time, and it has piqued my interest now to go and look up and to learn more. So who knows? I may just be reaching out to IYF.
Yeah.
You guys
All right.
should
Well,
join.
I'd like us to learn how to say goodbye just before we go to our final break. Can you share with us?
Sure. The word is 안녕히 가세요. So repeat after me. 안녕히
안녕히
가세요.
가세요.
Yes. 안녕히 가세요.
안녕히 가세요. We'll be right back.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize.
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever, Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning-fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a Lone Ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced full high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't let this plan. I can't let this plan.
If we all don't come together and work together to change the bigger climate picture, these efforts will be in vain.
It's right there.
I believe that we have something special that is also a secret right now, which is unexplored, undiscovered.
I've been with the sugar fishermen all morning, catching lobster and conch. And then we realized it's time for lunch. And man, it's gonna be good. I think they deserve it.
Welcome back, and thanks for sticking with us. It's been a really great morning, Paul. We had 3 wonderful and insightful conversations. Of course, starting things off with Glaucoma Awareness Month and really learning a bit more about glaucoma and how it affects persons here in Belize. If you are not checking your eyes, don't only do it for glasses. Definitely check for glaucoma as well, because it's a silent, I guess, cause of going blind. As they mentioned, there are no real symptoms. It just happens. So a way to prevent that is to get your eyes checked regularly. Definitely ask for that comprehensive eye test, because the one that you take to just get a new pair of glasses, that would not necessarily tell you if you have that issue coming on to you. And in our second conversation,
yeah,
it was all about
good to have our friends over from BTEC to talk to us about self-leadership, give us some insight, and just spark that conversation on set. I think it does well for our viewers to hear exactly, to have those conversations and to listen into conversations where we talk about building ourselves and developing ourselves, developing motivation, setting goals, developing our influence. These are important traits that any self-leader or successful person would want to pursue. And so having that conversation this morning was definitely refreshing, and I'm sure for most of our viewers, eye-opening.
Yeah, eye-opening was also our final segment, and it was all about the IYF programs that are available for persons that are interested. You can learn from foods, Korean foods, to dance and singing, and of course even the Korean language. Paul and I also took a try at learning some of the basics. We learned some vowels and even how to say good morning and goodbye, or hello and goodbye.
Yeah, I'm more keen to the technical aspects of the language right now, because that's easier to remember than the songs, but like with everything, you crawl before you walk, and then you walk before you run.
Yeah, so if you're interested in checking out IYF, definitely check out their social media pages. They're also located at Kings Park as well, so check that out. But yeah, that's about it, Paul. We've reached the end of our show. We want to say thank you to all of our guests that stopped by, but also a special thank you to you, our viewers. It is January 18th, and if you are celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have a question, comment, or concern, you can send us an email at oye@channel5belize.com. You can also catch us on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ, as well as Instagram at OYE Belize. Paul, I'll get you. You're going to be saying your closing again. But please do us a favor. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And please do us a favor and join us again tomorrow as you open your eyes
And start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your minds,
and your hearts open.
Have a wonderful Thursday.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.